Hello, I'm Nikki Schiller. Welcome to the programme. We start this hour in India, where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is due to start talks on forming a coalition government. His BJP party is celebrating, but it failed to secure a majority on its own for the first time in 10 years. His NDA bloc secured 293 seats, above the 272 mark needed to form a government. Mr. Modi thanked voters for their mandate and said he would do everything to eradicate corruption and poverty. The world's biggest election was held over 6 weeks, with almost 1 billion people registered to vote. Our first report is from our correspondent Arunade Mukherjee in Delhi.
Victory celebrations at the BJP headquarters in New Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi returning to power for a record third term. The victory bittersweet. Modi's aim of crossing 400 seats unfulfilled. In his victory speech, choosing to call it a win for his NDA alliance and not a win for the BJP.
On this pious day, it is definite that the National Democratic Alliance will make a government for the third consecutive time. We are all very grateful to the people of this country as they have expressed their trust in the BJP and the NDA.
Over 24 Indian opposition parties had united to form the India Alliance to take on the BJP. The grouping doing much better than expected. Opposition leader Rahul Gandhi called the alliance's improved performance a verdict against Modi's style of politics. To a question on whether he may still try and cobble up a bigger alliance to form the government, Gandhi remained non-committal.
इंडिया गठबंधन की मीटिंग है.
The Opposition India Alliance meeting on June the 5th, where our alliance will decide our next move. There is a very fine line to make the majority, so we will do whatever the alliance decides.
What was widely anticipated to be a runaway election wasn't to be. And after 10 years of the BJP's absolute majority, India will be returning to coalition politics, where consensus will be key.
And Arunade joins me live now from Delhi. So the election much closer than had been expected, which means Mr. Modi has to have those talks with his coalition partners. What are we expecting today?
And that's exactly what the focus will be all through the day today, Nikki, as both the ruling NDA alliance of the BJP, led by the BJP, meets with its partners. We will also see a meeting taking place of the opposition parties who banded together to form the India Alliance. So they're all meeting together. So what we're seeing now since morning are regional party leaders who are based in different states are now flocking to Delhi, where they will be meeting the leadership of the national parties like the BJP and the Congress to try and deliberate on a strategy about what happens next. And this is where the key to what will happen next lies, because these will be hectic deliberations where there will be different parties who are addressing their own domestic constituencies who will seek to get the best deal for themselves. Because so far, over the last 10 years, the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has not had to rely on alliance partners to ensure that his government carries on functioning. This time, they will have to give consensus. They will have to get consensus. There will be give and take. For instance, there will be some parties which will say, I want that particular ministry, or I would like this. I would like to be this in the government, which means dislodging existing BJP ministers and putting in alliance partners. So this is where the story lies. So it's not the end of it at all. There will be conversations. There are also feelers that opposition parties are sending out to their alliance partners to see if they can cobble up a larger alliance.
Yes, on that with the opposition, they've not conceded. So is it theoretically possible for them to form a government?
It's difficult, but well, you can't rule out anything in Indian politics, because right now the key lies with a lot of the regional parties in the country who have a history of switching sides depending on what the political climate really is. I'm speaking based on what we've seen in Indian politics over the last several decades, where India has been in an era of coalition politics. We've seen parties switch sides overnight. So that is definitely a possibility, which is why there is a big opposition alliance meeting later at 6 India time in the evening, where all the alliance partners will be there. There are also reports that some feelers have been sent out to parties which are currently in the NDA, who have historically also been in the opposition alliance in the past. So that is also something significant, because if they manage to convince them and if they manage to have these kind of positive conversations, then there still might be a picture where you are seeing the opposition alliance going beyond the 272 mark. It is difficult because they don't have the numbers at the moment. And some parties who are with the ruling NDA alliance have confirmed that they remain with them. But again, everyone is also punctuating that statement by saying we are going to be in talks. We will decide what the next course of action will be.
Could be a complicated day ahead. Arunade, thank you very much for the latest there live from Delhi. And a reminder, we have a live page up and running with the very latest reaction and analysis on the Indian election results and those talks that will be going on today from reporters across the country. You can follow it on the BBC News website or app.